Do you crave more? More aliveness, more fun, more pleasure, more power, more purpose. Welcome to Yes Woman, the show for women who know you are here for more. I'm Karen Rockhind, CEO of the Institute of Women. With my master's degree in positive psychology, I have helped tens of thousands of women say yes to their biggest dreams and truest desires. Here we have real conversations to stop pretending and to start saying what we want. Yes to the dreams we've delayed. Yes to the voice you've quieted. Yes to the wealthy, healthy, sexy life we crave. Yes, woman, welcome to the show. Hello, 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 my yes women. So I've been obsessed lately. I cannot lie about it. I've been obsessed with Heated Rivalry. I have watched it many, many times. And I'm especially obsessed as women, why us women are obsessed. And it really has had me look in the mirror around love. And is there an element of this that I'm wanting in my own life? Is there an element that we want in our own lives? Like, what is the breakdown of what women really want with love that we're so obsessed with this beautiful gay romance, male romance? And so wanting to chat about it on the podcast, I'm like, who can I chat about this with? And the most perfect, incredible person to connect with on this like popped up into my feed, and I'm like, yes, Taylor Carr is the person that I want to discuss this with, because she is the expert on women finding love. Like, this woman will blow you away. Let me just read to you a little bit about Taylor Carr. She is a love coach who specializes in masculine, feminine dynamics, dating, relationships. After healing her own incurable disease in her early 20s, she dove into the world of the natural sciences of healing and discovered the power of femininity, of magnetism, of being a woman. She mixes the classic and modern wisdom. She helps women create more enriched, more love in their lives, and in a way that really works for them. She has been featured in Ask Men Magazine, Bustle, Daily Ohm, Fox News. I mean, this woman is like growing like wildfire in the best way. She's worked with celebrities. She's worked with big CEOs, women in the military, like, and she herself is engaged. So she herself has landed the love that she has wanted. So Taylor, I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to Yes Woman. I'm just so excited to have this conversation with you.
Wow, thank you so much for having me. That was such an intro. I'm like blushing over here.
Well, I mean, people couldn't hear before we got on, but I was like, woman, you really like, you're it. I am in a happy marriage. I love my man, so I'm not looking for one. And I still follow your posts because I'm like, girlfriend's like, you have like really good advice. Like, so even in my own relationship, to really ensure that I'm playing out the feminine and masculine dynamics, and that I'm like pausing and letting him, take his part and me take my part. Like, so I'm learning from you, even though I am in a relationship.
I love that so much. Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. So, all right. So we're going to start talking Heated Rivalry. If you haven't seen Heated Rivalry, just pause this podcast for one moment and just go on HBO Max, or if you're in Canada, you can watch on Crave, and go watch it. Like, because there's something so special that is happening. And I know for me, for my cousins who were on a text thread, for my college girlfriends who were on a text thread, like, I have multiple text threads of, midlife women obsessed with this. And if you are obsessed, can you please like send me a note and we can talk about it? We can get on a text thread about it too. So I have watched it now a couple of times, and knowing we were going to chat about it today. So from your perspective as a love coach, it's men love it too, but it's women who are obsessed with this. So like, Taylor, like, what's your take? Why are we so obsessed with this?
I mean, I'm like, how much time do we have? There's so many things, but let's start at the base level and then we'll work our way up and we'll peel back layers. But I think on a base level, with everything going on in the world, all of our nervous systems are feeling a little wrecked and chaotic. This is what we're calling a corrective experience. This is a show where good things happen to good people, even when they're not being perfect, even when they're not at their best. There's like a healthy tension. People are communicating boundaries and standards and consent. People are messing up at work, and it's okay. Take a breath. I know you're going through a lot, just breathe and get back out there. There's a dad who loves his son so fiercely, and we don't typically see men loving men, straight men, family men, fathers who are loving that deeply. Usually we see kind of like the father who's almost like a joke. It's
Yeah.
everything has been corrected in the way that we expect. We're like bracing in the show, like, oh no, he dropped that tray, he's going to get fired, and then it's okay. We brace because his dad catches him, and then the family finds out at the end that he's been with his boyfriend all of this time, with Ilya all this time, and they have a very realistic, logical, and loving conversation. So it's all the bracing we're used to. Finally, we're winning instead.
Wow. That is, there's so much there to really dive into. First starting with the world is so heavy. It's so heavy. And this came at like such a great time. And, I was even thinking about the contrast between Epstein files and this. Like, it cannot be an accident just in like astrology and higher world order that these two things are happening at the same time. And you just nailed it. That there's a lot in addition to those files that's happening, that we want this experience of love and reciprocity and kindness. But this stark contrast has really like blown me away. And then I hadn't thought about what you said, that we're seeing these really beautifully hearted men. And you're right. Normally, men and women in shows are turned into stereotypes. And that's why if you haven't seen it, Shane and his dad are so beautiful. And then because we don't get a lot out of Ilya's dad, we get a different picture out of Ilya's dad, right? And then we see Kip's dad, and Kip's dad is so sweet. So this is, yeah. So this makes, why do you think that it's like a lot of straight women that are watching this?
There's a lot of reasons. First and foremost, I think we're entering the new paradigm of love. Like we're age of Aquarius. We're not doing things the way that we used to do things. And so to see something that no longer flattens the experience of what women feel in relationships and actually gives us more dynamic experiences, it's very profound. Like, obviously, the men are more vulnerable with each other, and we love to see men who are vulnerable. I think that's the main thing I see people mentioning, which honorable mention, we have a couple of men who are men. They're not hyper feminine. They are men in their own right. They each have the big paycheck. They each have the big home. It's no longer this imbalanced dynamic of, well, the woman is having this experience with this rich man coming in and doing all these things and making her life better, but dominating her in a way. We have very full and whole people being men, being vulnerable, being kind. There's a healthy sexual tension. There's playfulness, there's tease, there's flirt, and they all are successful. No one has to be anything for anybody. They're just following desire without rules.
Yeah, and I guess when we watch often heterosexual movies, it's a different kind of situation, right? That, the other thing I was thinking is that as women, it's safe, right? Like, we can even watch some of the dynamics between the men, and there's no threat to our own, like, are we safe in this moment, or is this replaying something that I experienced like a while ago? And it's interesting when you say like everyone is whole. Most love movies, it's two broken people, or it's someone who's saying, you complete me, right? And it's like that's kind of not what's happening, even though the main characters, Shane and Ilya, they both in the end like become the men that they were born to be. Like, they become stronger, they become softer, they become more vulnerable. I mean, it's all so beautiful. I'm like literally like obsessed. And I am I did not know that I would be so turned on by two men having sex. And I am bisexual, but I didn't know that meant like two men. And I'm just like, I'm here for it. The other day, I have to brag for a minute. I said to my husband, he did watch it once with me, and he's like, it was good. I'm like, can we watch it again? He's like, no. So I said, I'm reading the book now. I said, I want to read to you the sections, the steamy sections. And it was such great foreplay. It was such great foreplay. And I don't know if you have any insight on this, but like I'm finding a lot of women are turned on. Do you think
Mhm.
it's the consent? Do you think it's just like hot and like you said, it's Age of Aquarius and love is love? Just like I'm so turned on by this.
Yeah, I mean, I like what you say about we aren't having to totally put ourselves into it or think, when did this happen to me? Or we're not in visualizing ourselves or in visualizing two men being men together and being available and being emotionally available and going after what they want without shame, without rules. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
the minuscule shame of we can't come out of the closet is looming a little bit, but it
Yeah.
doesn't really stay. Whereas a lot of the time, I think when women are part of the fantasy, it's, am I being a good girl? Am I being a bad girl?
Mm,
Am I allowed to do this? Am I not? Am I ashamed for feeling these things I'm feeling? Whereas these men are like, I want you, and here's what I want. Can I do this? Are you available for this? Let's do it. And
yeah.
there's something so powerful about that, because with the consent piece, we want that too.
Yes. There also is that like, most women I know want to be pinned up against a wall, right? Like we do want a vulnerable man. I want my man to tell me his feelings, and then I want you to pick me up and throw me on the bed. So there is like and I'm not saying every woman wants that or whatnot, but like I know a lot of women who want that, and there is so much of that happening in this of like I want that people are being direct, like right? They're like, this is what I want. This is what I want. I want you to do this. I'm going to do this. Like it's yeah. It there is
Yeah.
so much of that.
It's asking for what you want and receiving it without shame. And men get to
Yes.
do that more than women do.
Yeah. Okay. So this was my theory because I posted, like, I connected with you on this because I just posted on Facebook, like, why do y'all think that women are into this? I really think women want it all. And I think we're at a point where we're not willing to compromise or stay in this. It's not even compromise, it's like sacrifice anymore. And I think especially as we get older and we know ourselves more, we're like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this where I'm settling and saying yes every time I really mean no. And so I think it's like we're watching this and we see, wait, I want to love like this. I want to feel hot, sexual, sexy again, even in menopause. Like I not that these 25-year-old men are going through menopause, but like there's like a there's a and I want more and I get to have more.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Women are being more honest and more honest about the allness that they want, but we're still working through that shame too. Like I see that through line a lot in my clients of, am I allowed to actually say I want more? The answer is
Mm,
always yes. And it's yes with kindness, right? Because we don't want to shame people in our lives or make them feel like they're not enough. It gets
right.
to be this really beautiful conversation and dance where it's no longer the masculine and feminine wound of the feminine always wants more, the masculine never feels like enough. It's now, I want more. How do we do this together? And like, I think
Mm,
rivalry gives us a little bit of a blueprint without a female involved, which maybe also gives men permission too.
Are you hearing like did your partner watch this? Did your fiance watch this?
He watched 3 episodes and he was like, I just don't think that it's a good TV show. And he just like wasn't. He got into the writing and he got into all that stuff.
Okay, he and I are in a fight and we don't even know each other.
I
Okay.
know.
We had a conversation before here that I want Taylor to move closer to me because right now we're like, I just realized that we were like an hour and 10 minutes apart. And, but he and I are going to have a conversation about this when I meet him that, because I actually think it's an exceptional show. Like,
Yeah.
that could
I
be
said to
me.
him, I said, I think what your very beautiful man brain, baseball daddy brain, doesn't
Yeah.
quite get is that the moments in between that he's confused about are the moments that we as women are picking up as tension, right? We're feeling
Mm,
yearning, and desire. These are the things we want from men. And he's just like, I don't get it. There's not a lot happening in the in between. And there's all these years. I'm like, there's so much happening in the in
Yeah, like
between.
they're texting each other. It's like a year goes by and they're still texting each other, and a year goes by and they're still working out and thinking of each other, and a year goes by, and it's like it is building, building, building up. I had a lover, I don't know what else to call him, for 9 years. And it's not that in those 9 years I was only with him. It was like we would be together when we weren't with somebody, and then maybe it's a year, and then we would text each other like, hey, are you single right now? And we lived 3 hours, like we lived in the same place, and then I got a different job and I moved, and so we would like meet up in the middle, an hour and a half, and the whole drive there was like, okay, and I know exactly, like I knew what was going to happen, but I didn't, and so it was like that. Yes, that tension. This is why you're such an expert. I didn't identify that's what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then that yearning, there's a scene in the club where they're both with someone else, but they're watching each other. And the yearning, like they keep that tension. So what is it about us women that we love look? And as soon as I say that, my shirt, my like little...
Your strap falls.
My strap falls down. You can't tell with my hair because it's so black. But yeah, okay. So it's getting hot in here. So what is it? Like, let's talk about yearning. We love, right, exactly. Like, okay, we love the yearning.
Mm-hmm. It's part of why Bridgerton is also a stark contrast from war times, right? Like we are looking for what's possible in love right now outside of what we've created and built as a society as what love means. We're looking back. We're looking a little bit back to the future or past to see what did we miss? What did we not bring with us into these times? And I think Heated Rivalry does a great job of bringing something that we would traditionally see as an older time thing into the present, and not just women yearning, but men yearning. Like every woman I know wants to feel desired, yes, devoted to, and fucking devoured by the man she really, really wants. Those 3 Ds, just came up with that. She wants those.
Yeah. Can we wait? Can we say those again? Do you remember? We made it.
Devoted,
devoured, desired.
Yes.
Okay, Taylor, I think we just named your next program.
I love it. You and I will do a program. That's
what... right?
Love. And here's my thing. My favorite thing about Heated Rivalry, this I haven't seen anyone talk about this yet, is that we have Shane and Ilya, and they're a very specific archetype of desire and relationship that a specific type of woman loves, and we don't usually see that in cinema. We see more of the Scott and the Kip archetype. It's more romantic. It's more what I like to call Libra coded. Like they're lover boys. That's how I identify. I see myself in Scott and Kip. That's my relationship. It's giving Virgo Libra connection. So if you don't see yourself in Ilya and Shane, you can still see yourself in Scott and Kip. It gives you two very stark, different like relationship styles, and you can find yourself in one of them while enjoying the other and tapping into something you're not tapped into. Like Ilya and Shane are so Aries coded. Like they are fiery, they are passionate, they're little teasing, they're like, F you, I hate you, shut up. And that is part of their...
And now fuck me from, yeah, like... Right. Okay, so this is so interesting because... Yeah. So episode 3, so it's Ilya and Shane for the first 2 episodes. It's just like that. It is, it's hard sex. I don't know. There's a, what's the word that I'm looking for with it? If Kip and Scott are mushy and yummy, it's a different edge with Shane and Ilya. It's raw. Thank you. It's raw. And I found myself, I often think that there's like at least 2 of me, but probably multiple. And it's a lot of my life I played out and am in the kind of Scott and Kip, and it's mushy and yummy. But then there's like this other part of me, right? That's maybe more of a shadow part that maybe, that 9 year I got to like really play that out. And then in other ways I've played it out. But I think a lot of us, we have kind of an inner bad girl, inner like raw dominatrix, something that we're kind of like our kink is wanting to come out and we get to see it there. But I do
Yeah.
know a lot of women were uncomfortable with how Ilya treated Shane at the start. He seemed
Mm.
like very controlling,
Mm.
like the
I
Vegas scene.
Yeah, I took Ilya as being so himself. Now, Ilya is having his
Mm,
own life experience. Ilya is
right.
not ready for a relationship, and that's clear, but he still cares about Shane. But he's dealing with this internal family dynamic that he's not old enough or mature enough or a full identity enough to figure out how to process, which is why he pushes Shane away every time that he goes back into an internal space. That's
Mm,
all have experienced that with a man at 23, 25 years old. They're like, I don't want to be with you. Now I want to fuck you. I don't want to be with you because they don't know how to process the bigger emotions. It isn't until Ilya's dad dies that he like emotionally cracks open and can actually let Shane in for real.
mm, mm. You are so right. As I think about in my 20s and what that looked like. And, but of course, I got married at 22. Like, I had this other kind of, I got married at 22. I was divorced by 26. So I had somebody who was totally willing to commit. I kind of did it backwards and then I started dating. Um, and yeah, they're not fully mature because
In
they're
my
so
world,
young.
yeah,
And this will be an interesting like segue also to women, whether women are dating men, but in your work, maturity must be a huge piece that comes up. Like, do you want a little boy or do you want a king? Are you going to show up like a baby, princess, or are you going to own that you're a queen? I mean, this must show up a lot for you.
this is like half of my business right here.
Oh,
And
great.
so
Well, let's go.
yeah, I talk about princess energy a lot, and there's a lot of layers to this as well. Or, Peter Pan or prince energy. There's a lot of different versions of a prince. There's a knight, and then there's king energy. And I think that these archetypes are explored many different ways with many different people. So I just do it in my way, but there's no right or wrong. But yes, I do believe that men who are under the age of 25 are not ready for a serious relationship. But the problem with that is that they are what I call Scooby snacks. They are delicious. They are open. They're loving.
Baby
They're
snacks. Oh my God.
we're so intoxicated by these young guys because they've not been as damaged by the world yet, so they're less rigid. They love. They're like their tails wagging. You're an older woman if that's the case, and it's just hot. And they're like, I'm ready for marriage. And then their brain fully forms and the prefrontal cortex is fully developed, and then they're like, I'm having an identity issue. I don't know who I am. 25, 26, 27. And then at 28, they go into their Saturn return until they're 31. They don't know who they are fully until they're going to be in that 31, 32 age range. That's a very
Wow.
important time in a man's life. Now, some prince archetypes think that they can create their kingdom, their queendom, with a queen by their side. Some believe that.
Mm,
I
mm.
think most nowadays, now that we lean more avoidant as a society, I think most guys believe I cannot have a queen in my kingdom until the kingdom's built. So I'm going to play with princesses until then.
Ah, interesting. And so when we talk about it in those terms, there's so much. I remember when I lived in New York, people would say there's no men in New York. I'm like, are you joking? There's like men everywhere. What are you talking? I'm like, I can't literally walk down one block without seeing 10 incredible men. So what are we talking about here? Except what, the conversation that women would have is like, yeah, but they don't care, they don't call you back, they don't, right? And so what needs to happen, do you feel like, in a man's life, or so that a woman knows, like, okay, this is a prince, this is a knight, oh, he's a king, he's ready? Like, how do we know?
Men are very often they're in response to the woman that they're dealing with. So we'll start there as a foundation. We can't change men, but they are often in response to us. The problem is that a lot of women think that they can change these guys by being so amazing. That's not the
Mm,
answer. The answer is detachment and being savvy and wise. So if you're dating a young man who's creating himself, be supportive of that, but don't attach that deeply to him because he is not ready which means that you get to keep your options open. You get to be very clear, like, I'm looking for marriage, I'm looking for my husband, or I'm looking for something very serious. I don't think you're there. I would love for it to be you, but I don't think it's you. And then let them either rise to the occasion or not. Most men are initiated into being, I don't want to say a king. I think a king comes from like marriage and commitment, but into like the next level, let's call it a knight, through a woman. I don't think they can be initiated without it usually.
Hmm. That's so interesting. What about when it's two men?
I think it's a little bit different with two men because their expectation is a little bit different. Like women seem to look for that safety really, really quickly. Like, what are we? Are we exclusive? I think male on male relationships tend to lean a little bit more open. There's more exploration. So they kind of take their time, like we see in Heated Rivalry. They take their time to make that decision. And there's still a level of heart commitment that's there. I think it's just a completely different dynamic.
Yeah. 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 You know, that whole like happy wife, happy life, there's actually science that shows that, so scientific studies have shown that men who are married to women are happier
Yes.
and women who have women friends are happier. And so like there is this we are the common denominators, my friends. Like women out there, you have to hear, like we are the common denominators. Yet I see so many women feel like, oh, I'm too fat. Oh, I'm not XYZ enough. I need to change you. Like we we've been conditioned, I feel like, since we were little girls. Does he like me? Does he like me? Does he like me? And so that's the energy that a lot of women, I think, are still in when it comes to love, no matter how successful they are.
It's so true. I would say that decentering men is one of the best things I ever did for my love life because, again, I'm
Mm.
a lover girl through and through. I am a Libra sun, Libra Venus. I am a girly, girly, girly love girly.
By the
And
way, whenever you drop all these, like, I don't know what the heck you're talking about, but I love it.
it's
I
all
don't know Libra. I mean, I know what they mean, but I don't know what they mean. And I'm like, just keep talking like that. It's almost like if I'm around a guy who, speaks with an accent, I'm like, yes, just keep talking. I don't know what you're saying, but
I'm just dirty talking you because Heated Rivalry.
I love it. I love it. Keep flirting with me. Anyway, continue. Okay. So, yes, you were
Way
saying.
that I used to date when I was it's like everything was about men and I was just a lover girl. I was treated horribly by men and I was always leaned in and trying to figure out how to fix it and save it and how can I make him and what's wrong with me. And when I
Right.
started just really, really loving myself and my life and not attaching to anyone until they've earned it, because again, like I watched men earn it over time. So why aren't we the same? Like you can earn this with me over time. Men treated me so much better, like
Mm,
were leaned in on me. If they started acting a little silly, I would say, hey, that's not really in alignment with me. I'm not very inspired by you. And I get to be inspired by the man that I choose. And they are called forward. So I think I teach an art of calling men forward. Not all men want to be called forward, but a lot do.
okay. I'm not very inspired by that. That's not in alignment with me. I'm not very inspired by that. Can everybody just write that down? If you're driving, then, pull over, write that. Like, I just think that's not in alignment for me. I'm not very inspired by that. I
Mhm.
can just see, even if you're married, because I also want to talk about these same tools and approach for people who are married or they're in a long-term committed relationship. I, I've had times in my marriage where I'm like, this doesn't work for me. I need X. I want to see you step up into Y, right? And there is something different when I say, I believe in you,
Yeah.
right? And so that line just like, that really got me.
If you want to turn it into a positive statement rather than a negative statement, it is, I would love to feel inspired by you.
Ooh, I would love to feel inspired by you. Do you notice with you and your clients that I guess that this really shows you who this person is, who this man is. If
Mhm.
there's someone that wants to step up or they just don't.
It's so fast. Like, I think that I am the queen of weeding out men very quickly without making them wrong. I think that's where a lot of women go wrong is we're constantly making men wrong for not being how we think they should be, rather than I'm witnessing you for who you are. Here's me calling you forward. Either you are it or you aren't, but that doesn't mean you're wrong. You're just not right for me. So I still believe in you. Like, you're amazing. No problem. Thank you for letting
Right.
me know. I'm so grateful we're on the same page.
Right. 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 Which then, if we weave back to Heated Rivalry, they did. They accepted each other for who they were.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
was. It was like they didn't, almost like when you see on the playground and girls get so upset by each other, right? And across the way, or a bunch of boys, and they're like, or they're fighting each other, and then it's over and they're best friends again. So, but we take it personally, and she hurt my feelings, and I'm not making fun of that. This is like the story of my entire like fifth grade, right? But it's almost like in that movie when one of them is not acting how the other would want, they're not trying to change each other. They're just like, fuck you. Let me try again, or like, fuck you. Like, whatever. Like, it's a totally different dynamic that we don't tend to do as women. We're like, but now do you not like me? Or like, why are you acting like, I don't know. It's just a different, we're direct, I guess.
Yeah, there's a fluidity to it of there's not a lot of this like drama and back and forth and why don't you love me and why aren't we together? We see Shane processing his emotions as probably the more feminine in the relationship, but only for a time because I think
Yeah.
they play with those roles. We see him processing his emotions, but he's not trying to force anything. We see him delete his own text messages and actually process his emotions internally rather than putting them on him.
Yeah. Wow. There's so much we can learn from this. My goodness. What about when someone's already in a relationship, right? So, women listening to this, let's say they're midlife, they've been married for 20 years. How do we improve, or get the love that we want? Because that's really what I kept coming back to with Heated Rivalry. It's like they're showing us, I love how you said these two different couples, and just, I think all sides, like we want a hot sex life, we want that tension, we want to be desired, and we want the yummy, mushy love.
Mhm.
And so if we're already in a relationship and there's, two kids running around, and, you got snot everywhere, or you've got, whatever it is, and you're exhausted, how do we take the relationship up to another level?
It's such a good question, and there's a lot of different answers here for every different unique couple. I think like any blanket statements for this would be a little bit harmful, but I will say the majority of what I see, and then people can pick their gems from that. Um, Women fall out of love with themselves while they're with men, and men fell in love with the versions of us that were sovereign and in love with ourselves.
Oh,
So
oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Yes, keep going.
yes, I'm so glad for the moans. She's like, "Oh, Taylor." I'm like,
Taylor, Taylor. Yes, we lose ourselves around
yeah,
men. This is
yeah.
so, yes.
And then they resent us for it, and then we resent them for it, and then we don't like ourselves as much. We feel less beautiful. We don't like our bodies, the cellulite, the this. Okay, so a man's job is the woman. A woman's job is the family and the community. And oftentimes we think our job is family and community and managing our man-child husband and managing the job and managing the home. It's not. Your job is to manage the children and manage yourself. Without you being okay, the children are not okay. So ask for help, ask for support, do the things that you have to do to be the fullest version of you. It will not always be possible depending on how old your kids are, right? But until you get back into a place where you're the queen of your castle and he gets to
Mhm.
admire that queen of the castle, the relationship stays stuck, it stays stale, we're fighting, we're nagging, all of these things. I think women forget to focus on what's the result that I want and how do I get it. We just sort of blurt things out. But if the result I want is for my man to move towards me, but I'm not even moving towards me, I'm not very in integrity with the things that I want. So, what would
Mm.
it take for you as the woman to pour back into you, to fall back in love with you, even if your body's a little extra curvy than it used to be? Welcome to Aphrodite body. Enjoy it, right? Go enjoy it with yourself by yourself, and he's going to want to be part of it. Surprise him
Mm.
with not waiting for him by the door with a beer ready to take his coat. Like, go be in the hot tub or go be upstairs reading a book and let him come find you. Get back.
Mhm.
You are the queen who is being served.
Mm. Mm. Taylor Carr. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. women lose themselves around men, and then this resentment builds up. And you're right. Most people, they'll tell me they have 3 children, but then they joke, well, it's really 2, and then my man baby husband. It's like, and why are we even talking about men this way? Like, let's see them as something, and I'm not saying everybody, but some people, right? Like, let's see them as their highest capability and their highest potential, and give them space to do that. And our main job is ourselves. I did not tell Taylor to say that, even though that is the main thing that we do around here at Yes Woman. Our main, like, the more we're saying yes to ourselves, the more we know who we are, the more we're in touch with our desires, whether it's in a relationship or out of a relationship, the more we're saying yes, as you said, to our body as she is. That's our Aphrodite. That's our, like, my body doesn't look the same as when I had a child, or now that I'm 51. Like, this is just what it is, right? And so, like, and I've yet to see, like, women are so, like, uncomfortable around their bodies. He still wants you. I promise you. He still wants you. Like, most men, it's not what we think. And so if we get back to ourselves, reading the books we want to read, taking the art class, going on the retreat, whatever it might be, like, that is so brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you are, say that again.
Stop trying to manage him.
Okay. So how do we do that? Because that's a big one. Like,
Yeah.
the one I really know is how we, like, become that queen ourselves and let them come to us. Yes. How do we stop managing him? Because right now I can hear some women going, I have to, or else he'll never take care of the blinds, or he'll never, whatever the thing is that you want done. Or
The reason why you feel like you have to manage him is because you came into the relationship with control issues, and you started managing him from the beginning because you didn't believe that he could do it. You thought you were the only one who could. You thought that if you didn't step in to do the texts, make it happen, drive to him, or make the date happen, or pull the relationship behind you on a leash, he would have never made it happen. So the reason why you feel that way is because you made the relationship happen. So now you have someone who's treating you like you made the relationship happen. Your job is to stop thinking that you're the only one who knows how to do things, because that's how we castrate men, and we actually prevent them from growing up and becoming men and becoming kings, is by stepping in and handling everything for them. Let men fail forward. Let men be uncomfortable. Stop cushioning that. The more you cushion him, the more you infantilize him, right? So the more you can believe that your man is capable, the more he's going to be capable, and you can, like, take your hands off. Your way is a way. It's not the only way. So get comfortable with other people having a way too. And if you're in a relationship with someone or married to someone you don't trust to get things done, that's a different conversation.
This is so potent. There's so much here. Okay, so let's take a real life example so we can kind of take it down for people. Okay, so we just moved, and I asked my husband a couple times this week, or told him how important it was to me that he set up my podcast equipment. Can you please set it up? And it's really important to me, and I couldn't figure it out. Like, I mean, I guess I could. I didn't want to, and it doesn't matter. I asked him to do it. And then it's last night, and knowing that we were doing this today, and I've been kind of makeshifting it, holding my microphone, which I can't stand, and it wasn't done. And so I had choices in that moment. Like, part of me wanted to be like, motherfucker, like, I asked you like twice this week or 3 times, and why didn't you do that? Of course, I went away with my best girlfriend, and he had to be on childcare, but okay. And I'm like, okay, how do I handle this? Do I be like, motherfucker? Or do I say to him, can you please do that? I asked you to do it, because that doesn't make him feel very good. So I want to hear what you feel would have been best in that moment. We'll see if I don't know how I handled it. Go ahead.
2 come to mind. One is kind of like your little strap fell off earlier, right? Like, take your strap down and say, what would it take for a girl to get a podcast studio around these parts?
What would it take for a girl to get a podcast studio? Okay, so good.
That that comes to mind. And then the other thing that comes to mind is if you just start moving things and making sounds in the room and like, and they likely will come. He's like, what are you doing? You're like, well, I have this podcast tomorrow. I have to get this set up. I didn't say you didn't set it up, but he sees you doing this. He's going to be like, oh my gosh, I was going to do that if you were just patient. And you're going to go, you know me. I'm
none
just,
of that. I forgot. Yeah.
I'm never patient. I'm just a little hot.
Okay. I'm loving this so much, but I know some people are sitting there listening because I feel like I used to be like this and like, so we're supposed to act like damsels in distress, like we're supposed to act dumb. Is that?
No,
I'll tell you, I used to be this way. So doing work with Mama Gina did help shift me from my like, I'm an independent woman, I will do everything myself, right? And I will say that I went away with other girlfriends. Yes, I go away a lot because I say yes to myself and I know what I need. I went away with my college girlfriends the week after we moved. And I was like, you know what would turn me on so much? If I came back and our whole room was unpacked. It would just turn me on so much if our son's furniture was moved. It would, and so you better believe I got that. I came back, our son's furniture was in the right place. Our room was totally unpacked, like 100%. He did all my books. I'm looking at a bookshelf. He did all my books in the bookshelf. Mm-hmm. So maybe I just didn't say it up front. I didn't do the podcast in the same way.
I think, I gave very silly archetypes of what this can look like, but even in my household, we don't really say the word need. So if something like that comes up and there's a little bit more tenseness around it, I might say, I really receive you setting up the podcast studio tonight, and I'm so grateful.
Oh, you just make a statement.
Yeah, I mean, if it's feeling tense for me and I couldn't possibly be fun and flirty because I'm pissed, but I would say, I really need you to do this right now. That has a frequency to it. Whereas like, I really receive you doing this right now. And here's why this works. First and foremost, there's no lack in that statement. It's asking for what I want, and men respond well to directness without me being nagging, rigid, or hard, or losing myself in it. I often have to ask myself, would I rather be right or would I rather be loved? Because men love making me happy. My man loves making me happy. And if he forgot something, I get to set him up for success in that.
Okay. Will you move in? Like to every woman's house who's listening to this?
Yes.
Every single one.
I'm on my way.
And just like the second something's not done or that we start to get upset, like, hold on 1 second. Taylor? Hold on. Taylor?
Yes.
Okay. Because I did say to him last night, like, I asked you to do it. And he did then say, okay, I'll go. I forgot. I'll go do it. I mean, he's not a jerk. So he's not going to be like, why, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I totally forgot. I will go do it now. Mm-hmm. And he did. Right. So yay. Thank you, Josh. But there would have been better ways. There would have been like, I could have even just said, will you please come do it now? Like I could have been just, instead of being upset that he didn't do it, I could have simply said, hey, I've got a podcast tomorrow. Will you come set it up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like the example of like, I really receive support in setting that studio up. It's serious, but I'm not angry. Like, let's go. I receive from you.
I really receive this support. I love it. And you said if someone's partner is not responding, then that's a different conversation.
I mean, the truth is, it's not that it's not savable, but it can take quite a bit of time to reverse those dynamics when they've been so set in stone for so long. And the other partner has to actually want to be activated in a new way by the relationship. So
God, I could talk to you forever. Okay. We're going to do a quick yes, no round. Okay. And then everyone's going to want to know where to find you. So we'll go through all the places. Okay. Here we go. Right. Okay. Men who bring flowers. Men who do acts of service.
Acts of service.
You're an acts of service woman. Okay. Saying what we want directly or asking what we want?
Saying what you want directly.
Oh, we got to learn this. Okay. We got to really, really, really learn this. Women can both be receiving in the feminine and be a badass at work.
Yes.
Oh, I wish I had asked you how that was going to work. Okay. This is slightly, it's not really a yes or a no, but favorite book that you like to recommend?
Men Chase, Women Choose by Don Massler.
Men Chase, Women Choose. Okay. I mean, do you want to write a book?
I'm writing a book.
You're writing a book? When are we going to get your book?
Well, I've been writing this book for like 6 years. I think I'm a bad book writer, but we're getting there.
Okay. Same. So we're really, really good there. Okay. Amazing. Now tell everybody where they can find you.
I am Taylor Carr on Instagram or TikTok. You can find me on Facebook under my name, and my website is upgradewithtaylor.com. And I have lots of fun freebies and masterclasses on there you can tap into.
Amazing. And just in case somebody doesn't understand, on Instagram, it's I am Taylor Carr, Taylor.
I am Taylor Carr, Carr.
I love it so much. Taylor, this has been so fun. I so appreciate you. I love talking heated rivalry, and I love us breaking down the love, because this is what we all want. Every woman, wants to say yes to the highest version of love that she can possibly have.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. And this was such a fun conversation.
So fun. Yay. Oh my God, I love it. Please move down. You'll let me know.
Yeah.
And everyone else, thank you for listening. I know you're going to want to be following Taylor just like I do. And so go to all the places. They're in the show notes. Also, if you love this podcast as much as we loved doing it, give a 5-star review. That lets more women know that they should check it out, that they should listen and watch all of the episodes. Of course, if you're not already a member of my Facebook group, what are you doing? It's called Woman Rising. This is where we say yes to ourselves. Yes. And so much more is coming. With that, may you live purposefully. May you love yourself. May you say yes to every desire that you have. Oh, Taylor, I forgot to ask one question. Oh my gosh. See, it's been years since I podcasted and I'm back. What is one thing you want every woman to know?
That your deepest love story always begins with you, and there's no exception.
That's beautiful. Yes. Now we can officially complete. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Taylor, thank you. Mwah. Bye for now.